Hey guys, Chef Jason for my friends at the Colorado Department of Agriculture and Colorado Proud. Today, it's a side dish that you could eat as an entree. That's right, sometimes side dishes are as important as the main event. Today, this side dish could easily stand alone. That's right, we're gonna do a little butternut squash casserole. We've got a lot of great ingredients, super easy, but very flavorful recipe. So let's dig in, let's walk through ingredients, and then let's get cooking. Let's take a walk through our ingredients today. We've got butternut squash. We need to end up with about 2.5 pounds, so we'll plan accordingly when it comes to peeling, seeding, and dicing. Salt and pepper today, just some cracked black pepper, a little bit of salt. We have some Italian herbs today. We have pancetta. We have shallots, we have some Parmesan cheese, then we have a really nice Swiss and Gruyere blend of cheese as well. A little bit of flour and butter, that's gonna act as our roux today. A little bit of heavy cream, that's gonna cream everything out, thicken it up nicely. And then we're gonna finish it today with a little bit of those fried onions. But I'll tell you what, the sweetness of those butternut squash, along with the pancetta, the onions, the cheese, absolutely fantastic. We'll go ahead and add our pancetta. We've got this over medium-high heat. Now we wanna slowly render some of the fat off of this pancetta. So we'll do that here for just a couple minutes and get some of that fat off, and then it will be time to add the shallots. Okay, so as our pancetta starts to brown a little bit and we've rendered off some fat, probably about 3 minutes in, we'll go ahead and add those shallots. Now, shallots are gonna soak up a little bit of that fat, and then we're gonna saute this now for another 3 minutes or so until the shallots start to caramelize or brown just a little bit. So now that the shallots have started to brown a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and add our diced butternut squash. We're gonna add both of these in here. We'll get this sauteed a little bit. Let those guys heat up just a tiny bit. Now we'll go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper. Like we always say, add as much or as little as you like. This is totally a taste preference, and we don't want you to have anything too salty. Also, keep in mind that Parmesan cheese and that Gruyere and Swiss have a little bit of salt as well. So we'll go ahead and add that. We'll get that mixed in real nice. And then we'll add a little bit of our Italian herbs. Just a sprinkle again, as light or as heavy as you want. I went with about a teaspoon right there. All right, that mixed in, and now we'll go ahead and add the butter into the center here and let that start to melt as well. Okay, so we melted that butter and went ahead and stirred this up, let this cook for about 5 minutes, and we're in a really good place. So what we're gonna do now is, we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle the flour lightly over this whole mixture. And I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of flour just to get a start here. Then we're gonna stir that in, get that mixed in really nice here, all right? This is gonna help act as our roux. And I have 3 tablespoons of flour in there, but I'm actually just kind of waiting on these 2 to see what it looks like. And if I need to make it a little bit thicker, I can, but I tell you what, I think I think we are good here. So now, we'll go ahead and add that heavy cream in here. We have 1.5 cups of heavy cream. All right, we'll get that mixed in as well. Give that a chance to do its thing. And then we'll go ahead and add our cheese next. And I like to sprinkle that cheese out just to make sure I get everything mixed in real well. Just like that, we'll get all that in there. Now we're slowly gonna cook this. Let that cheese melt. Let that flour do what it's supposed to do, thicken everything up. Get this coated off real nice, and then I'll tell you what, 400-degree oven is where we are going next. Okay, we've got everything all mixed and ready to go into the oven. I will put my cover on here when it's time to go, but we're gonna start our cooking process. We think this is gonna take about 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes, but I'll tell you what, we're gonna put it in the oven for 45 minutes at 400 degrees. That'll be our first temperature check. Here we are right at 45 minutes, and it's time for that initial doneness. I'll tell you what, look at this. I think we are perfect, right? We look nice and fork tender in this casserole. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and leave this uncovered now, and I'm gonna add those fried onions back to the top of it, just like that. You can always add more or less. I added 1 cup, but now we're gonna go back in the oven just for 5 minutes real quick to brown those up. Well, I tell you, I wish you could smell the studio kitchen because this smells absolutely incredible. Cooked a lot faster than I anticipated too. 45 minutes plus an additional 5 to brown off those onions. Like I said, cook time Could be an hour to an hour and 15, but I'll tell you what, that butternut squash really cooked off fast for us today, which was absolutely fantastic. Now, don't forget, you can head over to coloradoproud.com. That's coloradoproud.com. You can grab today's recipe, plus a ton of recipes featuring amazing things raised, grown, and produced right here in the great state of Colorado. I'm Chef Jason Morse for my friends at the Colorado Department of Agriculture and Colorado Proud. I can't wait to dig in. Happy cooking.